first of all, congratulations on the success of The Cleaning Lady.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm curious to know what originally got you into wanting to be part of the project.
So actually, my agents called me. They mentioned this project. They said that a director and a casting director had put my name on the table with Fox, and they wanted me to audition for the part. And they explained to me that it was a very small character. And I said, I don't care. I want to read the pilot. And as soon as I read the first episode, of course, it was a mob drama with a lot of ingredients and, you know, like a lot of worlds inside one story. But particularly talking about my character, when I read the first scene of Nadia, I fell in love with her right off the bat because everything was already on the paper, you know, like I could see her world. I could imagine her. It was very like the way they presented Nadia, the way Nadia appeared for the first time in a very artistic way. Even though I mean, they told me that it was going to be a small character, but in my mind I was like, this is not possible. I just could see her as a big character. And then I auditioned for the part, and once I booked it, I knew that this was based upon an Argentinian original series, and that was such a surprise. I was shocked because I'm Argentinian, and the character wasn't written Argentinian. It was written as a Russian girl, and then they changed their minds that made her Argentinian. And there were a couple of coincidences that I don't know, like there were some kind of like signals, you know. And Nadia is very fun. She's very different from me. I'm very boring. I have a boring life, like, you know, like. But Nadia was like, you can go to the streams with her. There's no limits, and that's something very attractive for me.
Okay, you say a small part, but she's fierce. Your character is fierce, Nadia.
Yeah, that's why when they mentioned to me that it was going to be a small part, that she was going to be in 3 or 4 episodes, I'm telling you, it was on the paper, it was on the script. I was like, this cannot be a small character, because I could see her world. And I remember that once I booked it and I got the new script and I started to work a little bit of my character. I went to a cigar lounge to see, you know, like to kind of like be involved, starting to be involved in her world. And we did the first table read. I got a call from the showrunner. She's Melissa Carter, and she told me that Fox had reacted very enthusiastically to my performance, and I was very surprised because she told me that they were going to write Nadia Moore, and as the season went, you know, like then they made me a series regular. So it's been, I feel that feeling that I had didn't fail. It was true. Like Nadia had something more to offer to the show, and I'm really glad that they did that, of course, because it's a great opportunity for me, but not only because of that, but because they didn't put the woman in the typical role of the trophy wife for a mobster guy, a Latino, and the machismo, you know what I mean, like that we're so used to hear from the Latino world, and you get to see a man that likes powerful women, and that was I was very thankful that they did that.
Okay, see, I did not know this. So they added on more for your character. I thought, you know, when you were saying small character, I was like, I don't know how, but okay, so they added.
I started recurring in the first season, and she was meant to be 3 or 4 episodes in the story, and then they started writing more, because I think that the dynamic between Adan Canto and me kind of like worked, and it worked for their story, like the main plot for Oledie Yung and Adan Canto. It worked for them. So they started adding a little bit more of Nadia. And then they decided for the second season that they wanted to develop her story more and more. And that was a big surprise, and I couldn't be happier, because I had the feeling with the character when I auditioned for it, and it looks like I wasn't wrong.
I watched the entire season, the first season, in one sit down. I could not stop. I spent my whole Saturday watching, and your character, the one in the restaurant where you have that scene after you and Arman have that fight, and then you threw, what was it? Un jarrón or a plato? I don't remember what it was. That was a strong scene.
That was the breaking point for Nadia. It was that I really appreciated that scene, because that's where you got to see her real feelings, everything that she'd been working so hard for, and she was losing it in a second, and you could see her ambitions, right? You could see that she's not only there for just supporting her husband. No, she's part of the plans that they have. They are a team. They work as a team. She is kind of like a Lady Macbeth to Arman. And once that Thony appears in the picture, everything changes. And she gets to a critical moment, right? In which she loses control over her husband, and like he starts pushing her away from his decision-making process. And I think that she doesn't know where she is anymore. She doesn't have her place.
That's where I was like, wait, who's really has the brains here?
Yes, that's right. And I appreciate that they put it in a woman. And I think that makes, there is something very interesting in the plot of the series. And I think that is the cleverness in the show, that none of the characters, not even Thony, not even the lead, none of the characters are really portrayed as good people. Everyone has very negative traits, and still you want them to succeed, and still you are on their side. They break the law, and you want them to get away with it. And that is the job of the writers, right?
Apologize, I keep talking about season 1, but I did get a chance to watch a little bit of season 2. What can you talk about it?
That season 1 was about a mother desperately trying to save her son's life, and everything was kind of like focused on that. It was like about surviving, and then season 2 picks up with Thony trying to find her son, who has been kidnapped by his father. And then there's a new incident involving Chris that's going to be very important in the plot. Thony and Fiona are gonna do whatever is necessary to protect him. But then, talking about my character, there's a new character that appears. Naveen Andrews plays this character. His name is Robert, and he is the one who in the past got Nadia out of Argentina and brought her to the States. And this is a very important point in the story, because you're gonna get to see a new relationship that comes from the past, and you're gonna start you're gonna understand why Nadia became this person, and the dynamic between Robert and Nadia is very interesting, because it's like a dangerous dance. They think that they can control each other, and you don't really know who's gonna win, and the dynamic between Robert, Arman, Thony, and Nadia is going to be very interesting. It's not a triangle. It's I don't know how you would call it. You know what I mean? But it's like all the characters get interconnected, and it's very interesting.
I'm excited. I got to watch 2 episodes, and I can't wait for the rest.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I watched the two first as well, and I'm like, I think this is a great.
Felicidades, congratulations. I wish you a lot of success, much more, and look forward to seeing the full season.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.